And then I heard you're expecting kids, twins.
Twins is, yeah, you got to stay off the internet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm expecting one child.
One child.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that?
I think about it in terms of like years, right? Like I'm 44, so when my new child is 21, I'll be 65, right?
Right.
And that seems kind of old until you start thinking about who's 65 now, right? And so when I think about that, I think that like, I don't know how old like Mariah Carey is, but she has to be like 10 years older than me, or Jay-Z or something like that. They got to be almost like, their next big birthday is probably 60. They're still out here looking young and looking cool. So it ain't that bad. But I think at the end of the day, it's new life. It's going to be a different parenting experience from when I was younger. So when I was younger, I was still hard-headed in the streets and, like, I don't know how I even made it to this point in my life doing the things that I was doing, but I made it. My kids are all fine, smart, straight-A students and good. And so it'll just be interesting to parent at this age.
I had a boy, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I'm going to say he. Let me just announce. I had a boy, by the way, so not many people know that. I keep getting comments like, what did you have? I was like waiting until today. So I had a boy. So every day it's like he changes. Like I always knew that time went by fast. I always knew that, but watching my son now, I know that it goes by even faster than I could have possibly imagined. Every day it changes. Now he's like getting a little fussier when he's getting sleepy, that kind of stuff. But it's like, it's just crazy.
I know what it's like fully relying on a man for support, and it sucks.
Okay, but what would you do? I think you would go.
You think I would?
Yeah.
Y'all, get ready for the most explosive tea you'll hear all year, because what's going down between Evelyn Lozada and the game is about to have you clutching your pearls. Our girl Evelyn has transformed into the fiercest mama bear you've ever seen after the game supposedly dumped her daughter Chenise, and honestly, after everything that's happened, can anyone blame her? Let me spill this scalding hot tea for you. Word on these celebrity-filled streets is that the game is up to his usual shenanigans, pulling the same tired moves we've seen 1,000 times before. You know the playbook? Promise them the whole universe and every star in it, get them pregnant, and then, poof, disappear faster than your ex's number when the child support conversation starts. But this time, baby Evelyn is not playing around. She's coming for the game with the force of 1,000 angry mamas. But wait, because this tea is about to get even hotter. You won't believe what I'm about to tell you. Apparently, Evelyn actually encouraged Chenise to get with the game in the first place. I know, pick your jaw up off the floor. Even though this situation had disaster written all over it in neon lights, Mama Evelyn supposedly saw it as Chenise's golden ticket to secure the bag. Well, honey, she secured something all right, but that bag came with more baggage than a cross-country move. And now? Poor Chenise is sitting pretty, or not so pretty, with the title third baby mama to a man who's basically made this his whole brand. Like, did nobody see this coming? Because from where I'm sitting, this train wreck was visible from outer space, but y'all, the messiness doesn't even stop there. The game didn't even give Chenise enough time to recover from bringing a whole human being into this world before he started acting up on social media. The audacity of this man knows no bounds. For those of you who haven't been keeping up with this drama-filled saga, let me catch you up real quick. Chenise just welcomed the most precious little angel into the world. We're talking blue eyes that could melt your heart and cheeks so chubby you just want to squeeze them. But here's the kicker. We only found out about this beautiful baby because the game decided to post a picture with the caption, "Beautiful baby boy overload Blaze Taylor, I love you, son." Sounds sweet, right? Wrong. This man had the absolute nerve, the unmitigated gall, to not even tag Chenise. You know, the woman who carried his child for 9 whole months. Like, excuse me? If you're supposedly so head over heels in love with your baby boy, why aren't you showing an ounce of respect to the woman who went through labor to bring him into this world? The disrespect is just astronomical at this point. But don't you worry, because Evelyn wasn't about to let her daughter get treated like last season's designer knockoff. She clapped back with her own post, showing the world what real pride and love look like. "This little blue-eyed angel made me a grandma, and I'm forever grateful you've brought so much joy into my life that words can't even explain. I love you more than anything, Blaze Taylor." And let me tell you, you can practically feel the grandmother love radiating through those words. That's how you do it, honey.
I like older men, for one, and I like gentlemen, and I want them to wear their pants on their hips and real classy.
Now grab your favorite drink and get comfortable, because we're about to dive deep into Chenise's complicated love life. Trust me, this journey has more twists and turns than your favorite soap opera marathon. Let's rewind back to 2012, when Chenise and Sean Kingston were spotted getting cozy together, giving everyone serious couple vibes. Everything seemed to be going smooth as silk until Sean hit up the Breakfast Club the following year and started spilling some piping hot tea about their situation. This man really sat there and said that when he first saw Chenise, his immediate thought was, I need that, the directness, the audacity. But whatever sparks were flying between them burned out faster than a cheap candle. By January 2013, Chenise was out here telling anybody who would listen that she and Sean were just really good friends. She made it crystal clear that while she was single and ready to mingle, any potential suitors better come correct and meet her standards. And honey, those standards were higher than your mama's expectations at graduation. But hold on to your wigs because this love roller coaster was just warming up. In June 2012, just 2 weeks shy of her 19th birthday, Chenise crossed paths with former English footballer Zat Knight. Now this is where things start getting messier than a toddler's art project. Zat was 32 at the time. Yes, you heard that right, 32. People couldn't help but side-eye this situation, wondering why a whole-grown man in his 30s was pursuing someone who couldn't even legally drink in the States. And if that age gap wasn't enough to set tongues wagging, wait until you hear this. Zat already had a son who was only 10 years younger than Chenise. The mathematics of this situation was giving everyone a headache. Plus, Zat was living his best life across the pond in England, playing for the Bolton Wanderers. Talk about a long-distance situation. Things really got wild during an episode of Evelyn Lozada when Chenise dropped a bombshell on Evelyn that had viewers screaming at their TV screens. She was seriously considering packing up her whole life and moving to England to be with Zat, but Mama Evelyn wasn't having any of it. She was worried sick about her baby girl leaving everything behind to sit in some older man's house like a trophy on a shelf. But her biggest concern? She didn't want Chenise falling into that oh-so-familiar trap of depending on a man for coins. Evelyn had been down that road before, and she wasn't about to watch her daughter repeat those same mistakes.
I know what it's like fully relying on a man for support, and it sucks.
Okay, but what would you do? I think you would go.
You think I would?
Yeah.
Evelyn just couldn't get behind the idea of her precious daughter moving across the whole ocean for Zat, but sometimes mother really does know best. After 3 long years of dealing with that long-distance drama, and trust me, it was dramatic, Chenise finally had her aha moment and realized that uprooting her entire existence for a man might not be the power move she thought it was. When Zat made the trip to visit her in the States, Chenise kept it 100. Sometimes a girl just needs her personal space. Eventually, they both stopped playing pretend and went their separate ways. But while Chenise was navigating her relationship waters, Evelyn was stirring up her own pot of drama. In 2013, she announced she was expecting a bundle of joy with baseball player Carl Crawford. She threw this absolutely fabulous baby shower in February that had everyone who's anyone in attendance, including Shawnee O'Neal and, wait for it, Tiffany Cambridge. Now, this is where the plot thickens like day-old gravy. Tiffany isn't just any random friend in Evelyn's circle. She's the game's ex-fiancé and baby mama. We're talking about a relationship that produced 2 children and 4 proposals. That's not just commitment, that's a whole saga. Back in 2012, their love story was so compelling that VH1 gave them their own reality show, Marrying the Game. But by 2014, that relationship had crashed and burned like a failed soufflé. The Game later spilled all the tea to Wendy Williams, admitting to his mess, I was a dog, I had infidelity issues, and I blew it. It's pretty much my fault because I had a good woman. Well, at least he had the decency to own up to his foolishness. But let's get back to Chenise because, child, her love life was more active than a Zumba class. In 2018, when Usher announced his split from Grace Miguel after nearly a decade together, guess who was spotted getting cozy with him at Diddy's birthday party? That's right, 25-year-old Chenise was seen living her absolute best life with 40-year-old Usher. Sources even caught them leaving together, but that situation fizzled out faster than a sparkler on the 4th of July. Evelyn, always ready to jump to her daughter's defense like a superhero in designer heels, swooped in to shut down all the Usher hookup rumors. But here's the real tea that everyone's been whispering whispering about behind their hands. There were serious rumors circulating that Evelyn was actually the mastermind pushing Chenise into relationships with certain types of men, particularly those with fat wallets and big names. One source even threw major shade, saying, "I understand being proud of your offspring, but posting multiple videos and photos of your child in a bikini working out half naked like it's all a promotion." The implications were clearer than glass. When 2019 rolled around, the rumor mill started working overtime when Chenise allegedly had a thing with Diddy's son, Justin Combs. But that tea got cold quicker than yesterday's coffee. Then she went public with NFL wide receiver Sterling Shepard, and child, the internet absolutely lost its mind when a photo of Chenise sitting on Shepard's lap went viral, especially since he was still in the middle of divorcing supermodel Chanel Iman. But I guess it was somewhat acceptable because Chanel had already moved on with another NFL star. The mess just keeps on giving. After things with Sterling cooled off, Chenise shocked everyone, and I mean everyone, when she was spotted with the Game on Christmas Eve. Given the whole complicated history between the Game and Evelyn's bestie Tiffany, people couldn't believe Chenise would even breathe in his direction, let alone start a whole relationship with him. But Evelyn, doing what she does best, jumped to defend her daughter faster than a shopaholic at a clearance sale. She tried to sell us this story about how she and Tiffany weren't even that close. Girl, please. Tiffany was at your baby shower, and y'all had been tighter than spandex for years. The mental gymnastics Evelyn was pulling to make this situation seem normal would have won her an Olympic gold medal. The relationship between Chenise and the Game was clearly more serious than anyone initially thought, though. Chenise confirmed it herself when she blessed the gram with a photo showing off her baby bump, captioning it, "Another trip around the sun and in my purest birthday suit yet," and adding, "Happy Father's Day, baby daddy." But notice how no baby daddy was tagged or mentioned. The shadiness of it all. The Game later confirmed he was expecting a baby boy, but kept his lips sealed tighter than a jar of pickles about the baby mama's identity. But honey, we all know how to connect these dots. This ain't rocket science.
And then I heard you're expecting kids, twins.
Twins is, yeah, you got to stay off the internet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm expecting one child.
One child.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that?
I think about it in terms of like years, right? Like I'm 44, so when my new child is 21, I'll be 65, right?
Right.
And that seems kind of old until you start thinking about who's 65 now, right? And so when I think about that, I think that like, I don't know how old like Mariah Carey is, but she has to be like 10 years older than me, or Jay-Z or something like that. They got to be almost like, their next big birthday is probably 60. They're still out here looking young and looking cool. So it ain't that bad. But I think at the end of the day, it's new life. It's going to be a different parenting experience for when I was younger. So when I was younger, I was still hard-headed in the streets, and like I don't know how I even made it to this point in my life doing the things that I was doing, but I made it. My kids are all fine, smart, straight A students, and good, and so it'll just be interesting to parent at this age.
The drama between Chenise and the Game has more plot twists than your favorite telenovela marathon. But eventually, all that tea had to spill, and when it did, it flooded. Turns out all this tension wasn't just about regular relationship problems. Word on these streets is that after the Game found out Chenise and Evelyn were allegedly trying to play him for his coins, he dropped Chenise faster than a hot potato and declared he'd only deal with her when it came to their son. But what's your take on all this messiness? Is the Game being his usual dramatic self and overreacting like a teenager who didn't get their way? Or did Chenise and her mama really have an agenda that would make a chess master proud? Drop those thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you think. And don't you dare think about clicking away if you want more juicy stories like this one, because honey, in this world of celebrity drama, the mess never stops. Never stop.